Golem, and it's not.
Yeah, which is why she actually goes in for the Crimson Golem first. I think that's a really smart idea. Now, Psycho is going to catch wind of this information, and that information is going to be passed on to ZenQ. We'll see what his decision is at this point.
Yeah, no, just a lot of rotations at this point. It is the early game, but in terms of the Motsu here, looking to try and just equalize the Lung in this farm lane, right?
Yeah, mid lane weren't taking a little bit of damage, but I think the growth of the farm lane is what is more important here. Oh, actually gets the right
the win.
The win. Oh, that was close. Yeah, An is just having a decent game here. I think Psycho hasn't been really successful in landing those cannon blasts here.
Yeah, he's definitely tried his best to land them to keep the Lady Sun alive. But right now in the mid lane, we've got a 3-man rotation. They're definitely trying to put Wen in his tracks.
Yeah, I think having Wen as a mid lane that's behind on the farm also matters a lot, right? Because then, number one, you can really just go in crazy without having to have too much concern over the fact that sliding stones and taking liberties are of concern, the damage.
Okay, but yep, taking liberties comes through as well. First blood is going to go over to Team Vitality this time. It is BTR, ZenQ going down for the first time. This maybe not as clean a game as the Masashi we've just been seeing.
And that's the risk of taking an assassin jungler, right? Because then, look, you're not as survivable. Yes, you have huge bursts, but if you get caught out, positioning is of utmost importance here. I think they were just a little bit too zealous, curious as to why they were walking together like that, but you can't blame them at this point. High stakes match, small mistakes will cost you power.
Maybe they're just forming a conga line. We don't know. Well, let's see what they have in terms of response to this, because I mean, BTR definitely need to come back from that first blood. It does put them behind in the resource lead as well.
Yep, now they're going to start gathering on the bot side of the map. Oh, can they get the catch just in time? Psycho, that's really smart. Actually, you know what? One of the things that Psycho should be in charge of doing is to try and bait out that the world is my board, right? If there's able to successfully get that skill down, burn that ultimate out before the fight starts, I think it could really go well in favor of Bigatron as well.
Yeah, they got to make sure they try and approach these team fights as best as possible. But when you've got somebody like the Motsu that's able to like, basically just create that distance, I think it's going to be very difficult for the side of Team Vitality to try and get on top of. But right here, Muchin and An might be a victim here, but not quite. There's no setup. They have the minion wave. They're just kind of just trying to maybe just give a bit of a mental scare.
Yeah, you will see this later on. Actually, the ideal combination here is actually going to be Psycho. Hang on, Wen.
Gotta be careful. The silence, not quite hitting just yet. He just got the world is board. He's so caught. It's going to be KK getting the kill onto the side of Team Vitality. And they're not done there. It's Wen picking up another one.
Yep, everything going wrong for the side of Bigatron. Look, the draft is really good in terms of getting catches if you land the cannon blast. But so far, they have not taken full advantage of the fact of Psycho's cannon blast into Chaos Sinners by Neo and then maybe Blazing Brilliance. And it's costing them so much.
I mean, I didn't want to be the one to say it, but Unbridled Outburst is a little bit easy to land than a Cannon Blast, right? And he's still with that one. So it could be at the detriment of Psycho. He needs to improve his aim, but it is going to be the bit of farewell onto the Psycho there. It is going to take down number 4 for the side of Team Vitality.
Look, previous game we were gushing about Neo, about how good his mid lane was, and now I think Wen, he wants to prove that he is the best out of the best as well. But here comes the next marker here. ZenQ waiting for that backline rotation.
Look at the still that Crimson Golem, it seems. He's like, oh, no one's there. They're all in my jungle, stealing my Azure Golem, so I'm going to steal their Crimson Golem. So a little bit of a trade there.
Yeah, but this is a risky play to have, right? Because, look, almost anyone can burst him down. And unfortunately, just use his Flaming Palms to get rid of the task force. So ZenQ lives to save another day.
Yeah, no, not exactly where you want those Flaming Palms to land on unless you want some meat coming through for the side of Team Vitality.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the position of Vitality, they're looking for an opening, right? Right now is the perfect time for a pickoff because they have neutral objectives available for them to take. 5.5 minutes, it's not really the biggest timing to falter, but if you can get an advantage, you want to squeeze every single bit of advantage that you can. You're trying to put pressure in the mid so that An now has the freedom to take that T1 on the top. And very nice rotation. Kerker actually just stops the entire aggression coming down onto that farm lane T1.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a typical trade, but it looks like Keke had his head screwed on there and was able to stop it, which was really good because that means that Vitality coming out on top of that whole thing. But it looks like Neil is in a bit of a trouble there. Flaming Palms do connect, but the right of the wind isn't going to quite hit when you've got that CC immunity from the Blazing Brilliance. But right now, Dodo looking to give a hand into the mid lane.
Okay, not ideal. They might get the catch. Oh, hang on, Psycho gets caught.
Psycho is in the thick of it. We do see the Keke dives down on backline. Oh, takedown of Neil as well. That's a great play by Keke. Somebody that was seeming to just have a little bit of lack of pizzazz in that last game.
I mean, you give them an inch and they take a mile on the side of Vitality, right? They got a kill, they got the Azure Golem buff as well. Tufts does well to try and make a trade here on the T1 on the top. Rotations will be made by KoK, not really to get a kill, really just to maintain wave management here. And you know what's funny? Every time they see the notification that Zanku is around, I don't think one is worried at all. In fact, one is more, all right, I'm going to get a kill.
Yeah, it's like challenge accepted, but once more, Psycho getting caught. This is not how you play the Motsu, especially when you're playing from behind. You are down by 4k gold. You do not want to let this slip even further.
Yep, they have absolutely shut Zanku up.
Neil. The Blazing Brilliance just to clear off the minion wave, but there's another one. Okay, Zanku coming from behind. Takes down An. That is a good start to a team fight. But what more can BTR do here?
I mean, not much, right? At this point, they really are just stemming the bleeding, right? The wave management's just simply better on the side of Vitality. So Bigatron, they have to find an opening. And this catching out of An is a rare occurrence. It's not going to happen all the time in this match.
I mean, he's been flying under the radar a lot in this game, right? We're almost at that 8-minute mark. So I feel like because he's flying under the radar, he's able to just not die but get the resources at the same time. So this could come back and bite Team Vitality in the behind, but only time will tell.
Yeah, but at the same time, look, the way that they're catching
oh my gosh, that's like, what, 4 for 4? Welcome to my world is my board onto Psycho there. That's another shutdown. Thinking Cyberbox is going to be used to commit there to get the escape for the side of BTR.
Yeah, this is just one's game, man. I have not seen so many The World is My Board land right on the edge as well.
Yeah, no, he's clean with it. He's definitely locking in at least one hero at a time, which is a very high success rate.
Yeah, and right now 6-2, right? It's a 5,000 gold lead going into the hands of Vitality. Look, there is a frozen breath in the kit of Wen, so it's if you get caught out, there is essentially no escape. And we're about probably a minute or two away from Muchen actually getting that glacial buffer, which means he's gonna have a huge amount of heal potential coming in.
Yeah, no, they don't want to get to that point because he's already seeming pretty frightful so far, but right now, we are seeing a bit of a push into the farm lane, getting that T2 for the side of Team Vitality. Definitely a stronger start for this team in Game 3. Maybe just a little bit of nerves after claiming that first win was what was happening here with Team Vitality, because they seem to be bouncing back, especially on like Dowdo, on like Luna, something we don't normally use. But Jonq here does get the knock up. He is going to be falling potentially here to Keke. He's hiding in between the turrets. That's a wanna get it a gel card. That's unfair. But still,
yeah,
going
it
to
is.
the mid line here. The welcome is my board. Wolf is my board, sorry, comes through. Traps Neil in, but are they going to be able to close the gaps to get this through? There we go. Flaming Palms connects. Team Vitality on getting the kill.
Oh, they're just so clinical on the side of Vitality, right? Punish every single minor mistake. It's not even a big mistake here. And once again...
No, yeah, fight between turrets here. They're definitely in for the thick of it. Oh, Dowdo getting the kill onto Zan. It's going to be a 3-1 trade for Team Vitality. Just for now, Psycho has to book up his ideas because once they get those minions around, that T1's going to fall, and he does use the Cannon Blast to stop it, but they're not stopping there. Team Vitality is a wrecking ball.
Yeah, it's unbelievable the amount of damage they can deal and tank as well. And look, Zanku, he's trying his best to stem the bleeding. He's looking for farm around the map. And look, if he's able to steal the Azure Golem, that's a big deal for him. But traded out for the Tyrant, is that the best trade available, right? Right now, I think Bigatron, they're just squeezing whatever value they can find from across the map.
Yeah, they're just trying to get their like, minor little victories, right? But like you said, I don't think it's a trade they need because there's so much damage coming out from Vitality. I mean, on the Lung, Dowdo on the Luna, as well as even Wen on this Yi Ching as well. It's just been so hard hitting, and you don't want to give any more damage over Team Vitality because it's going to be harder to get a comeback.
Team has destroyed
Yeah.
a tower.
And right now, I mean, Vitality, they're doing so well, and it's muting the growth of Zankyu. He's being a ninja, but okay, maybe this is the one.
I think inside the box, Blazing Brilliance. Is it going to kill him? No, Dodo escapes with the dash. That is so close, but JongQ is on the prowl. He is like a lion, but speaking of lions, he does roar. Keke getting a kill onto Psycho once more, but Dodo having a dash out once. There's a bit of farewell. Lands onto JongQ, gets another kill for Team Vitality.
Yeah, full grip punish here by Zankyu. He thought he was getting a freebie, but look, the level discrepancy, the goal discrepancy between the two teams is too huge to ignore at this point. 8,000 gold ahead for the side of Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I don't want to even see in my pub games, but let alone a competitive game in the quarterfinals. Team Vitality looking like they're trying to roll this one out. I mean, it's an 11-minute game. Can they survive 13 minutes? That is BTR I'm speaking about.
Has destroyed
Yeah,
a tower.
I don't think so. It's not going to be an easy game at all. So far, even if you can land the Cannon Blast at this point of the game, it's no guaranteed kills.
Yeah, those flaming palms, man. It just takes Psycho out of the whole team fight. He just gets hit by one skill. It's like, guys, I gotta go back.
Yeah, and Zankyu, he's trying his best to pull attention, but look, I don't think Vitality are too bothered because there's nothing else on the map that Zankyu can do without putting himself at risk.
Yeah, no, he can't be that wide open because he's one, not a tank. He is an assassin, and right now, his best point of call to try and catch out anybody so far is when and on. I mean, you have to wait for that infinite bastards to be used, though, right?
Yeah, and the longer the game goes, as more itemization comes onto An, this also dwindles the efficiency of Zankyu, and it's already at the 12-minute mark. He is falling off. He's gonna try. His only value here that he brings to the team is to try and slow down the waves, cut the waves so that they don't have that ability to really crash into the towers on the T3s across the base.
Yeah, no, he's definitely doing a good job at that, though. JongQ, I have to give him props when it comes to this wave management. It's definitely doing it, but the wave clear coming through at the front part of the team fight is definitely happening with the Blazing Brilliance as well. It's trying to stop the Team Vitality from taking these high ground turrets. I've already got one. They don't want to claim anymore, but JongQ coming from behind. The Blazing Brilliance is going to be the Splendor coming through. World is my board as well. Misses everybody on the side of BTR, but it is back of the line. Keke is not making sure borders exist. He takes down Neil, takes down JongQ as well. Down goes Tufts. We have the Vanguards at the Crystal. It may be game 3 going over to Team Vitality and a triple kill for An. Woo!
Yep, a much better gameplay coming out from Vitality. They understood what the strength of their draft is, and all they did was to out-survive the growth of Zankyu. Once that early game aggression, once that early game lead was gone, the game was in the bag for Vitality. It was just a matter of time of whether they can get the game, or when they will win the game.
Yeah, it was just a ticking time bomb. I mean, at that point, we saw the Prince of Langling didn't actually quite connect the way it needed to. The silence not quite landing, but I feel like this is the knock-on effect of having the Motsu, right? Like, if you're playing on the back foot, that was Cannon Blast on. Hitting the same, you're not getting that same setup that you need to counter the comeback from Team Vitality.
Yeah, I was hoping for more of the initiation where there was a double whammy combo, Cannon Blast into Chaos Cinders, and then maybe you get the kill with the Blazing Brilliance, or maybe even Zankyu can flank the back, right? There were a couple of moments that did come out very strongly for Zankyu, which was the solo kill onto An, but like I said, that situation does not happen often, especially right after that moment. Look, Vitality started grouping around An. It was like a big shield around his body.
Yeah, no, it just wasn't quite getting where it needed to be. But to be honest, Vitality did draft a really good Game 3 draft. I mean, they had the Lung, they had the Diadea, they had so much in there. I mean, even Dao Dao pulling out the Luna, that's how much he was under pressure from BTR, which is going to be a little bit of a flex from BTR. It's like, hey, everybody else played against tanks on Dao Dao. He had to pull out the Luna to stop us.
Yeah, and now let's take a look at the items and the build itself. I actually personally was really scared about Dao Dao's because there is quite a decent amount of control, especially coming out from Psycho as well as Neo. While it isn't as easy to land hits on Luna, it does. You know, Dao Dao was a guaranteed dead man there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, we saw no Azure Golems, at least as far as I'm aware, that was stolen away from Dao Dao. He was pretty much all over it like a kid over chocolate. But we are seeing a lot of damage coming from the side of Team Vitality. A really strong team game because they're all within that same kind of damage range. I mean, to see Lung, one of the lowest damage in a team of Team Vitality, is pretty much unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, it also speaks volumes about the way that Vitality is playing, right? You now know that he was always looking for those big burst kills, and if it doesn't, it doesn't matter. He will not overcommit.
Yeah, another 13-minute game in the notch for Team Vitality. So BTR lasting an overall 26 minutes, which was pretty much close to whatever their average game was, but it was definitely when they deserved that MVP. Those World is my board were just connecting like no man's business.
Oh, he really put it to the absolute limits here. Catching the member, especially Psycho, I mean, unfortunate, but catching Psycho at the edge of the World is my board every single time.
Literally just catching him right on the tip of the board, which was huge. And I mean, this starting team fight, the first Blood Run win, was really just showing the potential on this pick. So clearly, the Yixing, if Team Vitality do advance through to the semi-finals, that's one of the picks that these teams going forward have to focus on, because this is definitely one of the better performances of their mid lane.
Yeah, especially the angling in which he used his World is my board, it has been phenomenal with the way that it was done. Just the appropriate size to catch the correct members on the side of Bigatron and really just opening up the map and space so that the rest of the members like An or even Kirker could really just dive in, use the flash, Storm Strike, get the kills as well.
Yeah, no, this was just a beautiful fight around these two turrets. Like, how many teams can you say would take a fight around two turrets and then come out on top? And you can honestly say,